Material poverty, you can always satisfy with material. The unwanted, the unloved, the uncared, the forgotten, the lonely. This is much greater poverty. Today, we see that loneliness being relieved, that people are going through a torture of being unwanted, rejected. And I think that is the greatest suffering and the greatest poverty today.
What do you think a person should do when they pass a homeless person on the streets?
They should at least acknowledge the fact that, hey, they're still a person and they're homeless.
I know when I was on the street, a lot of times I felt just plain ignored.
The worst part is how people treat you, and it's... So
I'm on the 16th Street Mall right now. It's our second Saturday lunch in the park, and we normally just head out and invite people.
If it's freezing, they come out here in the cold and take care of them. I met some of the beautiful people in the world. I met angels.
We go out to the streets basically every day of the week and simply go around and look for people to talk to.
They just came up and said hi and struck up a conversation, and I feel like I made some good friends.
If we can, we'll try to connect them to area resources in case they're new to town or need help with something in particular.
Like I got housing, they give me food, they meet with me, we do my budget, all that.
But for the most part, we see that people are just hungry for conversation.
I have had a chance to talk to many of these homeless people who've told me the missionaries in Christ in the City, they're amazing. They're our friends. Other agencies and organizations give us food, they give us shelter, they give us clothing. But these people in Christ in the City, they're our friends. And I love how they go out in the middle of the week and will go out to serve the poor. And they go out with no money, but they go out to give something the poor don't often find in this world, and that is real friendship. To really talk to them, to take time to get to know them, to be a part of their lives, to treat them with the great dignity they have as persons.
They actually care about us. Like, they're cool. I like hanging out with them and just talking to them.
They don't just say, oh, how you doing, and then move on to the next person. They'll sit with you forever until you are done talking about everything that's going on. And that's how they treat you, like a person. You're not just someone off the streets. You're a person that they enjoy being with despite your problems.
I got a family, but my family don't care about me. These angels are my family. They do care about me.
from the time that I met them, it was basically because an answer from God for a prayer, that I had prayed the night before.
So we're not just a program that goes on the street and serves the poor. That is one huge part of our mission, but we're also here to form Catholic missionaries.
I think the double component of community life mixed with in a lot of ways, the special type of service that we do at Christ in the City has allowed me to open up, and it gave me the ability to say yes to Christ on this next step of my discernment towards being a priest, and a willingness to want to give my life for Him.
I have learned to love a lot better.
It's definitely most helped me in my spiritual life.
I've never seen such a full life.
These missionaries are giving a year of their life, and they're coming out to work with the most vulnerable people on the streets.
It's true that there's a lot of resources out there for those who are on the streets, but sometimes that isn't enough. Sometimes people are just too broken to see hope for themselves. Sometimes they can't envision another life, and so they don't take advantage of those resources. We try and inspire our friends on the street through our friendship and through our love, so that they can love themselves, so that they can seek to get off the streets, and so that they can also seek to rise to the stature of Christ.
A lot of times on the street when somebody approaches you, they want something from you, but they just came up and they were respectful, and they helped me do some paperwork to get into subsidized housing, so I think that just made all the difference.
Recently, two of Christ in the City missionaries came into our office on a Friday afternoon, called ahead and said, "Are you still open? Would you wait to see someone we want to bring to you?" And we absolutely would. They brought in a young woman who needed our services, who was in an unintended pregnancy, and through the care of the missionaries who brought her, as well as the life-affirming services of Alternatives, together we were able to encourage this woman, and she has chosen life. And so we couldn't do it without the Christ in the City missionaries, and we're glad to be a part of the ministry. Because of Christ in the City, another life is going to be on this earth.
Some of our missionaries were just doing their thing on Triangle Park, and they were just meeting different people, and they came across this man. And this man, he was in a diaper, and he smelled really bad because his diaper hadn't been changed probably in about 2 or 3 days. They basically loaded this guy up into the car and took him to every single place they knew to figure out who he was. He had no identification. And after months of working with this man, they were able to finally get him into a transitional housing. Our missionaries visited him every week. About a year or two after we met him, he had passed away. But he didn't pass away on the streets, rotting on a diaper. He passed away in the comfort knowing that he was loved, as well as taken care for materially as well.
When you can bring just that much tender and gentle into someone's life that has maybe almost no hope, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, right? When places like Christ in the City come and they choose to give, it just fills your soul with joy. It's almost too much. It's like, it's right there, you know?